We are live, guys. How are we all doing? Hope everyone's doing good. This is just a stream, just a quick stream for you all while we just discuss everything double game week 22. Going over as well, because I don't think we went over the potential double game week fixtures as well, the possible, which have just been confirmed as well for the double game week. We're also just going to be talking about as well a free hit team as well in this stream. So if you do enjoy the video, hit the like button and do subscribe. Like I said, just to unprompt straight away stream. We'll get straight into it. So hopefully we'll just get it on the screen what we need to be talking about today, and that's just a free hit team. And in this free hit team, we're going to be discussing. We're going to be discussing this team right here on the screen. And it is a free hit team that I've come up with. That I've not activated it. Before anyone asks, this isn't my free hit team. This is something that I've decided. If any of you guys are deciding to go for free hits in that double game week, this is possibly the best team I could probably think of that you can go with. If I were free hitting, I'd probably go for this. We've got players like De Gea, Fabianski in there, because we know De Gea's got Brentford and Aston Villa, whichever way around, Aston Villa and Brentford in that fixture. So I think if we just go through them all, we'll go through them all straight away. Like I said, I don't want to spend too long with this. But hello to everybody that's tuned in. Hope everyone's doing good. I've made it bigger for you guys so you can see. We know they've got Aston Villa and Brentford, and we know they've got the injury woes at the minute. I think Lindelof and Maguire are 50-50 to play in one of those games. But we know Phil Jones as well. The reason I've gone for a double up there, looks like he could start once again. I believe he was probably the man of the match for Manchester United in that game, that 1-0 loss to Wolves. First game in just over a year for Manchester United. And he's back with a bang. And so I decided, looking at 0.0% for Phil Jones, you lucky people out there could be the first ones to go and get him in your team. So is it a bit risky going double Manchester United defence? I don't want to wobble on too much with it. I want to get straight to the next player. But I think going for the two of them is particularly juicy. We know, should we say with the clean sheets, it's all been about De Gea, hasn't it? De Gea has been the one saving United's arses every single freaking game week, a lot of it. This interim manager, I'm still not impressed by Manchester United, hence why you can see it. Well, I know you can still see I've got triple Manchester United, but it's very, very juicy, isn't it? Is it fixtures over form? Was it form over fixture, guys? To me, it's form over fixtures, but I wouldn't rule out a double for Manchester United, going for like a double or triple Manchester United. So if you look at, Manchester United, winning 1-0. I can't remember which was his first game for Manchester United. Was it Crystal Palace? 1-0 against Crystal Palace. He got 1-0 win against Norwich. They're getting, doing all right. Maybe going for double is a bit too much. But if you really want to be bold, go for it. Brentford aren't really firing as in such at the moment. I think Mbeumo could still be out. I think he's close to returning, but Manchester United could get something there. Aston Villa away to Steven Gerrard's Villa team could be very, very tough. I hope Steven Gerrard does win. But if you want to take a punt, go for it. Go for double Manchester United defence. Another one to talk about is Thomas. He's in my own team, not in a free hit team. The reason I've gone for him, and I recommend him as well, I brought him in on wildcard going into Game 21 before the double was announced for Game 22. He's got Everton next in Game 21, but Game 22 he's got Burnley and then Spurs. I think he's a nice little gem. I really do. For the price of it, 4.3 million. He's getting the minutes under his belt. He's yet to play Everton because Everton haven't played yet. But I really do like the look of him. He's got an assist under his belt. He's been getting the 90 minutes. Very, very cheap. And I think for a double, I think he really could be a decent one to go for. I'm not joking, a really, really decent one to go for. Then you got the usual suspects in Trent Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, Laporte's in there as well. I think these three, I think everyone's going to start Trent. If you got Trent, start him. So I think if you want to go for a nice back three, go for Jones, Thomas, and Trent, or a nice back four in Jones, Thomas, Trent, and Cancelo. We'll then move on to the midfield now. Like I said, I don't want to go on too much about it. I don't want to go on too much about talking about the team right here. But I've got Maddison in. Maddison's expected to return against Everton, and but I do think it's still a lovely gem. You can see the numbers here, what he was doing the last couple of games. He's a lovely gem. I know a lot of people looking at Lookman. We know, I think Daka isn't at AFCON. I don't think he's country qualified. I think he's injured at the moment or got an illness. So Iniacho, we know, has gone with Nigeria to the AFCON. But I think Maddison's obviously the best one to go for out of all the attackers at Leicester. So I think if you really want to go for that attacker, he's close to returning. Fingers crossed he doesn't pick anything up with COVID, because I know he was at the dance the other night with Harvey Barnes. Like I said, with Thomas, he's got Burnley and then he's got Spurs. I think Maddison's a lovely one. I think he takes free kicks and corners, and I think he's just a lovely gem to go for. The stats back him up. They really do. Jota, another usual suspect. It's a shame they didn't get a double game at Liverpool. They would have had probably Leeds to add to that Brentford game. But, no Salah, no Mane. How are my team Liverpool going to do? I think Liverpool, Jota, I still think he's a lovely one to go for. And it's going to have him, Bobby, Ox, maybe Minamino rotating that front three. But I think if you want the goals, Klopp's got to start Jota. He's got to keep starting Jota. He's the only usual suspect that's going to get the goals for Liverpool. And I really do think, I think, honestly, Jota is still a good one to go for. So if you've got to get Jota in your team, haven't gone already, use a free hit, get him in. Son's in there too, just over 30% picked. I think he's a lovely one, definitely for the double game week. I think it's still going to be tough. I think Arsenal will prove to be a tough game for him. If you want to captain Son, I'm not particularly that big of a fan of it. I think Arsenal could make it tough. I really do think so. And then you got Leicester as well. Which you do concede quite a few goals, but then probably looking a bit tighter. They did get a shock result against Liverpool and proved to be quite a fighting team, don't they, Leicester? But I think Son definitely has to be in there. Kane is somebody you could consider, but I think with the price tag, probably just play it safe and go for the one Spurs attacker, either Son or Kane. You don't need both. If you can fit in both and still have a decent team, then fair play. But I think you don't need both for the double. I think it's kind of pushing it out a bit. So I think just sticking with the one is good enough. Bowen, another usual suspect. If you haven't got in your team, get him in your team, even if it's for free hit or you get him for long term. Guys, you got to get him in your team for long term, because look at his fixtures after. I think even against Manchester United away, could get something. And he's only 20% picked as well. Come on, guys, get him in your team. Free hits. He's only got a single game week against Leeds. We knew that already. He wouldn't be getting the double game week. So I think, like he has for this week. So I think against Leeds is decent in your free hit team. You don't need to really bring Antonio in your free hit team. He's not really firing as such. I think Bowen is the best one to go for. As like I said, extra point or two for being a midfielder as well. So I think if you want to choose either him or Antonio, definitely go for Bowen. For sure, definitely. Odegaard's in there as well. I've gone in my actual, wildcard team that I brought in. I think it's good for long term. Arsenal, I was hoping they were going to get a double game week, but they're just sticking with a single game week, and that's just against Spurs away. And I think they beat Spurs. If you have a look at some of the stats, we'll go back a bit. He played a full 90 minutes in that, Odegaard, and a 3-1 against Spurs. I think it's going to be tough for Spurs. This is why, hence why I said, I know Kane loves to score against Arsenal on his day, but I do think going for Kane, Spurs against Arsenal, both of them, is kind of pushing it a bit in that derby. But Odegaard, you can see the stats here. Look at this: goal against United, Everton, Spurs, assist against Leeds, 2 assists against Norwich. He is a lovely gem, and he's cheaper than Rafinha. Fun fact, cheaper than Rafinha, I believe. 5.6 million. I think if you want a long term, I know it's about a free hit, go for it. But long term, very, very nice. They are blanking in 25, but you can rotate him easily, especially for his price. But for a free hit, you can bring him in. But I think you don't really need to start him. But I think Spurs at the back don't particularly look great. I think they still look a bit wobbly, as Nathan Bacon will probably throw out there. I think you just say that, not too sure. And the front three is probably making you scratch your chin, making you wonder why I started, Mopay. Mopay's an interesting one. The reason I've gone for Mopay is a very interesting one. I know he's got a double game week. We know he's got a double game. He's got Crystal Palace. He's got Chelsea at home. He's a bit of a troll. He's a bit like how Callum Wilson was always at Bournemouth and a bit of Newcastle as well. He's got 7 goals to his name and 1 assist so far this season. I think if you want to take a cheeky punt with being a double, Chelsea at the back looking shaky, and we know the injuries at the minute. If we just bring up the injuries on the far right hand side of the screen, you can see the injury list of the defenders at the minute. I think Is Kante okay? Kante's in midfield. We know what he can do at that midfield. He's got an illness at the minute, but he should be back for the game against for their first game against Man City. We'll also bring up as well, just want to read out as well from the updated injury news. This is from the other day from Tuchel, saying he hopes, as because he went off injured, he hopes Azpilicueta is only a cramp, his injury. He said hopefully as well he's got away with it. Kai Havertz as well. I think he thinks he broke his finger. He played through the pain in the first half. Then it was just too much. Hopefully it's not a big of an issue. So that's the Havertz update as well. So but Azpilicueta, 50-50, could be cramp. Hopefully he could make the match still. Hopefully, he could. More likely make the Brighton game, but the City game could be a bit 50-50. So they're still without James. Thiago Silva's got a bit of an injury. Chalobah's, what's he got at the minute? Hamstring injury. He's got illness. Silva. Chilwell's out for a while. Christian, back injury. So a lot of injuries. It's a bit similar to how Liverpool were the other season. How we had a lot of injuries in that defence, and we were playing like Henderson and all that. And Fabinho in defence, and didn't particularly work out well, did it? Wasn't great. So, I'm very much tempted. I'm putting it out there on the stream that Mopay could be a good, decent pick to go for in a double against Chelsea, Palace and Chelsea. So both at home as well. Brighton looking, decent this season, very, very good. So I wouldn't rule it out, to be honest with you, putting Mopay as a red hot bold pick. Cristiano Ronaldo as well. Sweet, 30% picked. I haven't got in my team, but in the 3-hit team, I'm 50-50 because Manchester United still don't look convincing. They still don't look convincing. And I honestly think, as well with Cristiano Ronaldo, is he still worth it? Is he still worth it? The stats, for someone of his caliber, background of being a world-class player, he's a 37-year-old man now, and he's not really, like I said with Manchester United, there's a lot of egos in that squad, and I think they're all working around Ronaldo as well. And I think Cristiano Ronaldo is still a bold one to go for. They got Brentford. There's a big fallout at Manchester United as well. Is it really worth it against Brentford and Villa? Or Villa Brentford? I don't think so. But if you want to take a punt and the points are there, then go for it. Go for it. If you've already got Ronaldo in your team and you're not free hit, you've had him for a while, then fair play. Keep him. I think for a double game week, it's worth the punt, but it is bold. It is bold. It really is bold. So, like I said, triple Manchester United, but like I said, have some fun with it and go into this double with some. Try not to have high expectations because it's typical Manchester United, but have some fun with it, and it could work out for you. Maybe in your mini leagues as well. Maybe you're playing catch up in your mini leagues. Have some fun with it. And the last one as well is Dennis. Before we wrap things up as well. Now with Dennis, nearly 40% picked. We know he went off with a bit of an injury in that game. In his last game was against West Ham, or against Tottenham, should I say? And nothing to worry about. Ranieri expect him to be out for the Leicester game in the FA Cup this weekend and probably rest him. And then he should be back for the game is it the first one against Newcastle? And he's got Burnley as well. So if you got Dennis in your team, still keep him. You know how good he's been so far this season. He's got about 8 goals and 6 assists to his name so far this season. Still relatively cheap. And if you haven't got him already, get him your team. I think against 2 teams that are conceding quite a few goals at the minute, And then he's got Norwich after that, but this is a free hit team. I still think go for Dennis. Now, a lot of you probably thinking as well, why not bring in King instead of Mopay? I prefer Mopay. I think going double up on Watford attack is a bit risky. Like what I said about Kane and Son, that's my own personal opinion. There's no need. Now, it is probably risky going, triple Manchester United, but for the fun of it, Manchester United, they turn up, they do all right, then they don't turn up. Just play your own game and see what happens and have some fun with it. But I think this is possibly the best free hit team I could possibly think of for you guys. These are the best players for this double game week, for the game week 22. So, hope you enjoyed this video, guys, or this stream. I'm going to wrap things up. That was some Azpilicueta news earlier on. If you did enjoy the stream, hit the like button and do subscribe. Really appreciate it. And I've been the Penguin. And I hope you have enjoyed the stream. And I shall see you guys in the next stream, next video. Bye-bye.